So it's a pretty overcast day. I'm looking up for a change. I should look down because there could be snakes around. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. Just overcast, a lightweight breeze, pretty hot and sunny though. I probably won't last very long outside because, let's face it, the heat just gets to you. I just go for a little morning walk. Sort of, I don't know, sleeping till 9 seems quite strange, but I'm not going to do it for the whole week, so but it's strange to have a time to sleep in now that I'm getting used to getting up early. I'm awake anyway from 6 because it's quite hot, and I was just like dilly-dallying a lot, and I wasn't really doing anything excessively much, but trying to daydream, but then I couldn't daydream, so I just ended up watching stuff on my phone. I watched half of a movie that was on the internet, and then I said, oh, it's like almost 9. Well, it was almost 8:30, and then I did something until 9, and then I came out here. I kind of am aching to go to a beach, but I can't swim, so we literally have skin problems right now, and they are getting better though. I mean, it's reduced a lot. But aside from that, I also can't really swim because I haven't really practiced for a while. And so I'm like, yeah, the last thing I want to do is go to... Everyone but me likes the surfy beaches. I like the calm beaches that you can just step into and then you just sit there. But everyone else likes the surfy beaches, and since I can't really swim, it's like, what am I going to do at a surfy beach? I can't swim because I'm so out of practice. I can't believe that I can swim. So I don't have a pool, otherwise I'd be swimming in it. I don't live near a small beach even to practice even just stepping into the water and getting used to fishes being around and this and that. So but I do feel like going to a beach. I feel like being in water. So that's the only thing. Because it's already quite warm. And the only thing you want to do on a warm day is go to the beach. So I think that's how people tolerate summer. I have lived on a beach, but it's not as great as it seems when you're holidaying on a beach. So I would love to live by a beach, but I'm always like zoning out places, usually in Queensland. I don't know many of the New South Wales beaches, and or Victorian beaches, but even there in Victoria beaches, the weather causes more problems than you imagine. I tried to live even two blocks away from the beach and still had issues, so I'm like, it's just too much for me, unless I'm renting. Isn't like the world perfect when you're renting though? It's like you rent and then you can live fine, but then you buy and all hell breaks loose weather-wise to make it unaffordable. So like it's so much easier to just rent in some ways, and otherwise it's like, why am I wasting my money on a rental? But if you buy property anywhere and you're spending like $70,000 a week just for insurance, it's like, why not rent? It's only a few $100s a week. So I think I waste my money. But sometimes people won't let you rent. People are like, oh no, you got too much money, or we just heard you got such and such money and you have to buy. And then they tell you can't rent. You have to buy. And then you buy something and you get screwed out of it. So these are just social issues, like community issues. It's been a while since I've stepped into that kind of arena, but that's what I face whenever I'm doing stuff. It's one thing after another. And People don't care if it drains you of money. People don't care while they're being picky. They just keep shoving you out the door. You know, it's like, oh, you got too much money to rent. Buy. Then you buy something. Oh, we don't want you to live there. Now you have to sell it because, you know, we want to live there. And then you buy something else. Oh, we don't want you to live there. We don't really like you. So now you have to sell it. And the courts allow it. People will bully you out of your private residences. And it's like, build new. And it's like, still issues that pertain. If it's not insurance hiking up because of weather, it's something else. You know, it's like, so annoying. And then you're like, excuse me, you know, I've been spending thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars with all this crap. Where can you live? The desert. We rule that you can live in the desert for as long as you want. And you're like, seriously? The desert? No one lives for a long time in the desert. And there's a reason for it. And then you go to the desert, and once again, it's the same thing. Someone will bother you in the desert. It's like, oh, we want to do something here. You can't live here. You have to move to the other side of the desert. Ridiculous. That's why I haven't earned, well, that and the fact that I haven't really earned any money lately. You never fall for live in this apartment because it's going to be tax free. There's no additional taxes. House insurance doesn't hike up. It's like a low ground apartment that's built to be a low ground apartment. If you get one of these, you'll be set for life. You don't fall for that because, you know, 6 months later, what happens? The bills hike up. In essence, it's a great idea, and if it were true, I'd still have somewhere to live. But when I was living there, the bills hiked up. I think it was after 4 months, actually. And then I couldn't live there anymore because obviously, you know, spending a lot of money on a super expensive apartment, it drained you of a lot of your personal wealth. And then they hike up the prices, and then you're freaking out because you have to sell it, otherwise you'll lose the apartment. And then people don't like you, so you don't sell the apartment. And then someone gets it for free after you fail to sell it because it's been given to the government. You're going, that's like so crap. Like, how many millions of dollars have you spent on housing to try and get yourself a house to live in? It's like, too many. Everything sucks. Anyway, I'm not wealthy now, so I don't get those headaches. I would just sit around being like, have I turned 50 yet? It's like, what happens when you turn 50? I don't know, your parents might be dead. Or not. Or living in retirement villages that you can't follow. And then you're back to renting and dealing with housing issues after procrastinating. So, and social issues and personal issues and money issues. And now you can't retire, not even when you're 100 because you never really made that much money. And to build up your super. Yeah, all that's waiting for me in like when I turn 50 and up. You're like going, geez. Knock on wood, what the hell have you been doing with your life? It's like everything, but obviously not collecting super. I tried to put like heaps of money in my super account and they wouldn't allow it because it's not a self-managed super fund. So they're like, employers only, we have to give this back. Well, actually, the government probably stole it. I know, because sometimes I win little bits of lotto or something, and then I'm trying to give a good amount of money in my super, and then it's like, we can't let you have this super that has money in it. It's costing us money. Same with the banks. It's like, we can't allow you to have a bank account with money in it because it's costing us money for you to hold that money in a savings account. Okay, excuse me, you're a bank. Banks don't have little bits of money. They have endless amounts of money, and they're like, you would think that, but that's not actually true. We're actually just a very small bank, and we only have a little bit of money, so you can't have millions of dollars in your bank account. So what we're going to do, right, is send all the money back to whoever gave it to you, and then you can collect little bits of money from your employer, and never mind the hassle of having a lot of money. And you're like, are you serious? That's a true story, by the way. So banks are a little bit of a government rat. You know, if the government don't want you to have money, the banks won't want you to have money, no one else wants you to have money, and you'll have to keep living on nothing. And then the government thinks that you can live on air, the air that you breathe. Well, the government doesn't really think much of you, does they? So, there's a big chain connection. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. My parents are exactly the same way. They're like, they wait until I have an opportunity and then they come running, stalking after me, saying, you can't do this and you can't do that, you can't make money. You have to live under a bridge when you're older. So, and you're like, screw you. What kind of fucking parents are you? And by this time they're government rats, you know, they're in government too, so, you know, they're allowed, they're hot and cool since the 1970s, and, you know, they can do whatever they like and say whatever they like. And it's like, lo and behold, you know, every reaction is a government rat, you know. So, it's like if someone sues you all of a sudden after you get money, it's a government rat. If they win really easily, it's a government rat. If your parents get in on the action, it's a government rat. If the banks get on the action, it's a government rat. If real estate get on the action, they're a government rat. If the government get on the action, they're a government rat. You know, all these things that make it hard for you to just be a normal person with a normal life. And you're like going, oh my gosh, everyone sucks. Well, this place is going to be sold. I was told the other day, I'm planning to sell this place in a couple more years. I was like, really? Are you sure? Because nice house and nice block of land will sell. But the truth is, whatever work they've done is all going to, because this is like the kind of block that doesn't change, because as soon as people are ready to sell it, it's exchanged to the real estate. We change it back to how it had been and sell it as the property that it had been before you moved in. So otherwise it would look so much different. It'd have more trees, more gardens, everything, because I mean, not many people have lived in here before. So, but it's nice. I mean, it's nice. It's not. Apparently, though, the weather's gonna get good. So, if you're in property after 2006, apparently the weather's gonna be, unless you're living in a legitimate weather zone, apparently a lot of houses are going to be saved from the weather problems because apparently the scientists who work as God on their instruments from home will stop pressing buttons to make the weather bad, and apparently the weather's going to be good and people can finally live their lives. And so it's like, oh, that's something to keep in mind if you're ever planning to buy a house for yourself. Apparently the weather is going to be pretty good after 2006 and people can finally enjoy themselves and not worry about hiked up insurances and things. So that's a conspiracy theory. That people might find, oh, the weather is good. Oh, there's no more weather problems. Even here in the last year, it's like we haven't had any. It's like no weather problems. Just some storms, and that's it. No volcanoes. There's a volcano that way, living beyond the hill. Sometimes it spews lava. But it hasn't blown lately. There's been no floods. There's been drought, but that's not really the most extensive. The other thing is tornadoes or cyclones, and we haven't had any, so it's like, yeah, it's been a pretty good year. I wish I'd moved all my stuff here over the whole year, so I'd try to sell some of it. I should really get on, because I'm pretty flexible. I'm not like urging for it because I don't really like to spend money on moving stuff. And I should say, oh, can the garage be cleared yet so I can move my stuff here? Because, I mean, it looks like a lot of stuff, but when it's stuffed in a drawer, it's not really that much stuff. And you're like, oh, so can I finally move my stuff here? It's like been a year and a half. So maybe I should be like, I want to move my stuff here. I'm sick of it being in storage and stuff. We could still have weather issues. I think December to February is the weather issue time. So I could sit on it for another couple months, but I seriously wouldn't mind getting my stuff closer to me. And then sorting it out. I have so many things. I have a lot of belongings, but none of it's real belongings. It's just investment stuff I collected to make money. And so I'm like, I'm gonna get rid of all that stuff. But I wouldn't mind a bike. So if I sold some of it and got myself a bike, that'd be cool. But saying that, I probably wouldn't use it that much, just to go to the library or something. I could practice riding it, because that's my future, because I can't really drive a car. No one wants to teach me. No one wants to teach me how, let alone let me teach me the roads. I used to drive a little, but it's been a while. I don't remember things for a very long time, so my future's got me on a bike. I'm one of those lame-ass people with a bike, with a basket to go shopping. Like, growing up, you're like, oh, that's so lame. What person wouldn't drive a car when they're an adult? It's like, people like you, Yeah, and so many years later, it's like people like you who find it difficult to learn how to drive a car, let alone drive one. So, once again, the government sucks again, because police just are like, oh, did you almost, not... they grab your vehicles and they won't give it back unless they very quickly or easily. It's not $250 to get it out of the impound. It's $250,000 to get it out once they notice that you've got a nice car. And then people put bogus make-believe charges and they pocket that because the real charges are kind of small, but then they pocket that and then they take the car. Yeah, okay, well, that's crappy. So I don't think I'll bother with driving a car because the police just nab it too easily. They supercharge so that you can't afford it to get it back. And they either keep it for themselves or they destroy a perfectly new car or whatever. Maybe they sell it, I don't know. But it doesn't really seem fair. I mean, people used to have a car crash, get a warning or a ticket, and then mosey off. Or have it taken to a dealer to have it fixed up if it's been damaged. Now it's like, oh, you did a hairline bang on a car. Let's take it to the impound, charge you $250,000 to get it out. And if you can't get it out, they'll destroy it or sell it or whatever. And you're going, what the F is this? And yeah, and we're also going to take your license too. There's no little points. We're just going to take the whole thing right off. So there's no flexibility, no little warnings. It's all just swipe it right away from you and make it impossible for you to get it back. You know, going, what crap and crap is this? You know, it's a new way of policing. They don't get a big wad of cash for their pockets, so just tell you to F off and get rid of it.